Welcome back. In this lesson, you will learn about purpose. You will learn what it is, why it's so important, and how it influences your paragraph writing. Finally, you'll also learn how to apply your understanding of purpose to your writing so that you can better control what you say when you write. Before we talk about writing purpose, we should talk about writing itself. I mean, what the hell is writing anyway? Well, one way to think of it is to consider that every piece of writing, or speech for that matter, is a communicative action. Not a physical action like shooting a basketball in order to score points, but a communicative action. Another name for this is rhetoric. Rhetoric is an action using language, and it can be in speech or writing. But what do I mean by action? Well, like physical gestures or actions, we use words and language to make things happen in the world. For instance, we use language to convince other people to do things, to ask for things, or to get a response from someone, be it physical, emotional, or even mental. Think about it. Writing requires effort, even equipment such as a pen or a computer. Would we waste our time and effort writing something if we didn't want it to achieve some goal? Probably not. And that thing you want to achieve by writing, that's your purpose. Well, to put it simply, purpose is the goal of a particular piece of writing. It's objective or intention. Sounds sort of obvious though, doesn't it? Well, part of it is and part of it isn't. Let's take a closer look. Let me give you some examples. You've all heard a baby cry, right? Well, a baby doesn't yet have control of its language, but it still wants something. It wants its mother to do something, like feed it. So the baby communicates to its mother the only way it knows how to. It cries, hoping its mother will respond. We could say crying is our first rhetorical action, and getting the mother's attention is the baby's rhetorical purpose. When you ask your friend if they want to go to a movie on the weekend, you're trying to request or suggest a movie. This is your communicative purpose. You want some response from your friend. Preferably, you want them to agree and go to the movie with you. You communicate to make something happen. In this case, convincing your friend to go to a movie with you. In simple terms, this is the purpose. And because we seek some specific response or happening, we also expect a certain range of responses. In this example, you'd probably expect your friend to agree to go to the movie, or at least give you a reason why they cannot. On the other hand, you probably wouldn't expect a response like this. This answer about the sister is not the response you expect. Something related to the movie you'd expect, not about the sister. The response does not match the purpose, does it? And this is an important insight. So we'll come back to this. For now, let's look at another example. A politician on stage at a ceremony or rally wants to move the crowd emotionally, to inspire them. The politician does not simply get on stage and say a series of random words with no intention, no goal, no purpose, right? Well, maybe in some cases it seems like this, but we can be assured that generally every politician wants to achieve something, to make something happen in the world. And they use words to do this. Otherwise, they would not make the effort. In these cases of rhetorical speech, we see a clear goal or purpose behind the spoken language. The speaker uses speech to make something happen in the world. Well, writing works the same way. We write something to make a point, to influence or inspire a reader in some way, even if it is simply to inform them of something. What way? Well, what is it you want to happen? Whatever that is your purpose. Now, some of you might say, hey, Teacher Paul, isn't trying to influence someone a little sneaky or manipulative? What if I just want to share my feelings with my friend? So I send them a text or email. Well, even in the case of sharing thoughts and feelings, that writing has a purpose. The purpose is to share your feelings with your friend. Maybe you feel lonely and want them to notice you or feel sympathy for you. Maybe you want their help. All of this is perfectly natural, but it is not random. Even this sharing feelings sort of writing has a purpose. Therefore, we can say that all effective writing communicates a purpose. So, purpose is a combination of why you are writing, how you want to influence your reader, and what reaction or response you expect. So, how do we know what our purpose is? Who decides on it? Well, sometimes you choose the purpose. For example, when you send a personal text message or write a social media post. If you are a student, purpose is usually given to you. Your teacher might give you an assignment to write about a topic, so the purpose of what you write is to explain that topic or express your opinion on it. If you're taking a language exam such as TOEFL or IELTS, your first step is to read and be clear about the assignment question they give you, what it asks you to do. In other words, you need to first identify the writing purpose that the exam and its graders expect from you. If you don't identify this purpose, you might end up writing an answer that does not match the task's purpose, and this will definitely lower your score. For instance, if the assignment asks, write an email to your boss asking for a raise in your salary, what do you think the task purpose is here? If you said to write an email, you'd only be partially correct. Yes, you need to write a short paragraph in the form of an imaginary email. But in the imaginary world of this situation in which you work for a company for this boss, what's the purpose of this email? What is this imaginary email trying to make happen? Why does this imaginary you write to your imaginary boss? You want your boss to give you a raise. That is why you would write such an email, and that is your task's purpose. Therefore, your test graders expect a response something like this. Greetings, boss. I hope you're doing well. I'm writing to you to ask for a raise. I have been working diligently for the past 5 years without having an increase in my pay, and I believe I deserve one. Over these past 5 years, I've contributed to our company's growing market share, added over 500 new clients to our list, and have personally overseen a 76% increase in overall sales. I've personally innovated and implemented 6 new services too, all of which have been universally praised by customers and staff alike. Twice, I've been awarded Employee of the Year and voted Staff Representative by our team. I even single-handedly painted the entire office on my weekend once just to save costs. In short, I'm a dedicated employee and want to continue my work at our company, but would like a 5% increase in my salary. Please give it some thought. So that's the kind of response the task demands and the test graders would expect. But what if you wrote this instead? Dear boss, our workplace is an excellent facility. I especially enjoy the team we have and the equipment, such as the desks, table, and decorations. Our company is doing great work in our community, and our customers are happy. So we have defeated our competition well. Our company is now #1, but I strongly believe our marketing department needs to improve their productivity. Does this response match the purpose of the task? Clearly it does not. It does not ask for a raise, nor does it present reasons why you might deserve one. Instead, it seems to talk about how great the office facility is. The writer has not identified the appropriate purpose for this task, so the response is not aligned with the purpose. This is not an effective answer or paragraph, and it's going to get a low score. One way to identify the purpose of a task is to look in the assignment question for purpose keywords. These words can give you an idea of what your purpose is. In our example, write an email to your boss asking for a raise in your salary. The purpose keywords are right there, asking for a raise in your salary. So the purpose here is to ask. And this reminds us that, like speech, writing can be a rhetorical action. As you can see, knowing the purpose of your writing before you write is crucial, especially if you're writing an answer paragraph in a language test like IELTS. You need to be clear about what response the question expects from you, so that you can make sure to align with that in your paragraph. In fact, this is so important that most exam rubrics grade your writing at least 25% on how appropriately you respond to the specific purpose of the assignment. By now, you can clearly see why understanding purpose is so essential for your writing. Quite simply, it's important because it determines what you try to do with your writing, the rhetorical action. However, it also determines the overall form your writing takes. In other words, purpose determines how you use language in writing to express it. Purpose determines the vocabulary you use, the grammar you use, and the sentence structures you choose. This overall form of the writing is called the rhetorical mode. We'll take a close look at rhetorical mode in the next lesson. See you there.